Another episode of the Don't Argue with the Facts podcast. I'm your host, Noah Love, and today it is jam packed. College football week 5 prediction slash headlines. We've got a lot to go over. Week 4 was good, really good weekend of football. Some surprising results there as well. But week 5, because we're gonna talk about, because we have a loaded slate. Now we can't talk about every game, but we will talk about some of the big matchups. Pretty much all of the big matchups, but we won't be able to go in depth on all of them. Let's just get straight into it. Okay, first, let's start with Friday night, actually. Will TCU continue its great start versus ASU? Is the headline. TCU beat SMU 35-24. They are now ranked in the top 25. They are the 24th ranked team in the nation. The first 2 weeks, been great on offense. Hoover threw for 379 last week. The previous week against Abilene Christian, he threw for 337. Against SMU, I said last week I picked SMU. Didn't age well. SMU, you're kind of done. But this is about TCU. TCU, I said, is a 9-win team. I firmly believe that. Arizona State's coming off of a win against Baylor. This is a go either way game. Josh Hoover, one of the better quarterbacks. I mean, threw for 5 touchdowns. One of the better quarterbacks in the Big 12. Again, TCU, they're very balanced. They can throw it, they can run it. They have a really good offense. That's the strength of their team. Their offense, because they are very explosive. The strength of Arizona State's team, probably still their offense with Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson against these DBs for TCU is going to be an interesting thing to cover. These are two of the most underrated quarterbacks, I think. Sam Levitt and Josh Hoover. That's really the game between those two. This one, will TCU continue its great start? I don't. I'm struggling here because to me, it could very easily be a win for Arizona State and them back in the top 25. Last season around this time, they beat, I think it was Utah. I think they might have been 2-2 or something, or it was something about they beat Utah, stormed the field. Obviously, Utah, their season kind of went downhill from there, but it turned Arizona State's season around to a play and turned them into a playoff team. I'm not saying this game is necessarily going to be that, but after the Mississippi State loss, it's a big game. Look, the win at Baylor was huge. I think TCU on the road at Arizona State, Tempe. I'm going to go Arizona State here. Actually, nope, I'm not. I'm switching it. I like TCU. Okay. And here's why I like TCU. I think their offense is more explosive. I still don't trust Arizona State secondary, especially what I've been seeing this season from them. Not really sold on them. I think TCU is going to have a better ability to run the football than Arizona State is going to have. I just don't think Arizona's losing Scottaboo. Obviously, you see what he's doing for the Giants. He's given them a big spark. I just don't think they're going to be able to run the ball as effectively in this game. And I think TCU's it's going to be one of those games where they walk out with a dub. And look, Sonny Dykes, he's got himself a squad this year. He's got himself a team. So I think TCU will win that. Now, let's go. I think if I had to give a score prediction, probably 31. Actually, no, probably 30-24. Probably 30-24. All right, let's go Saturday. Will USC continue their hot start versus the Illini? It's a top 25 matchup. It shouldn't be because Illinois, we'll get to them in a second because last week against Indiana was rough. USC is favored by 6.5. It's big noon kickoff. It's on Fox. USC just beat Michigan State by 14 points. USC, this is going to be their biggest test of the season. This is really their biggest stretch of the season. They're 4-0, and now they go into a stretch of obviously on the road against Illinois. Then you got Michigan at home. Then you're on the road at Notre Dame in October, and then you're on the road at Nebraska in October. So, this is a tough stretch for them. USC, from an offensive standpoint, Maeva, he's really good, bro. He's really good. They're very balanced. They can run the foot. It looks like they can run the football. I mean, if you watch the last game against Michigan State, look, they ran it 40 times for 289 yards, and that's 7 yards a clip. Wayman Jordan ran for 157, and Eli Sanders ran for 90. That's pretty good, if you ask me. Miami could sling the ball around. He's got Makai Lemon there, who is really coming into his own. Look, Michigan State isn't a bad team. They're not bad. And USC was able to do whatever they want. They've been able to do whatever they want against pretty much any team. I think this is their first real test. Because Illinois is going to be very physical, even though it didn't look like that against Indiana. Maybe Indiana's just that good. I want to go to the Illinois side of this. That loss was bad. 63-10. Oh, on national television. Again, they should not be ranked after that. But they're still ranked. Look, I think Illinois is just a very good team. I know they have some injuries, but still, I think Illinois still is like a top 15, top 20-ish team. But that was bad. That loss is either going to do two things. It's going to bring them closer together, be like, okay, we're still really good. Everything we have is in front of us. It was bad, but we're going to galvanize the troops and we're going to go in and beat USC. Or we're going to splinter. A lot of people will pick USC after last week, which again, rightfully so. I can't blame you if you do that. But it's at home. Brett Bielema really has been really good at home. College football's weird. I'm going to go with the Illini. College football's weird. Weird things happen. I don't know. I just feel there's something about this game where it's going to be like Illinois wins and you're going to sit there and look at it and be like, USC, what? But yeah, I am going to go with the Illini to win this football game. They probably win it 38-31. I don't think they're going to be able to score on USC. USC's defense, I'm not sold on. I'm not. I'm not sold on them. Their offense is really good because Lincoln Riley is great and they've got talent. To me, it's going to be about the trenches for USC. It's just going. Last year they got dominated in a lot of these games in the trenches. Are they going to be able to hold up? If they can, they'll probably have a good shot to win a lot of these games. If they don't, it's going to be same story as last year. They're going to be 7-5, 6-6, and Riley will probably get the boot. I think Illinois shocks people and win this game. Another headline: Can the Irish run the table as they have they're on the road against the Razorbacks of Arkansas, who just came off a loss. Again, Arkansas should have won last week at Memphis. They made so many mistakes in that game to where they just blew it. These are two teams that have kind of blown games. Notre Dame against A&M and Arkansas versus Ole Miss and Memphis. That was bad. This is Arkansas Super Bowl right here. This is it. They're not going in a playoff or anything like crazy like that. This is their Super Bowl. This is the game that Arkansas has that people have had circled in turn because it's at home. I would think it would be against a playoff team. Jury's still out on that. This is a huge game. But my thought is, the headline says, can Notre Dame run the table? I think they can. I think they can, and I think they will. I think they're going to beat Arkansas. Look, I love Taylor Green. If you've been listening to the pod, you know that I'm sold on Taylor Green. I'm not sold on the rest of the team. I'm just not sold. And Notre Dame really needs to win this. If they lose it, it's a season, so pretty much over. I mean, look, they have to run the table, and it's very plausible. Look, this is one of their toughest games left. After this, it's Boise at home. They should win that. Then after that, it's NC State at home, which won't be an easy game by any means, but they can and probably should win that. Then it's USC at home, which is tricky. It's on the road at Boston College. It's Navy. Then it's on the road at Pitt. I don't care what people say. That's a tricky game. You have Syracuse at home. Again, Fran Brown, tricky game on the road at Stanford. They can run the table. I kind of think they will run the table. Honestly, I'm picking them to win this game. Arkansas. Look, Taylor Green's gonna cook this Notre Dame defense. Taylor Green, his ability to throw and run. If Marcel Reed was any indication, Notre Dame's going to struggle against Taylor Green. He's going to struggle. They're going to struggle. To me, it's going to be about the explosive plays for Arkansas down the field, and also it's going to be about, bro, can you just not beat yourself? Can you not have turnovers? Can you not have self-inflicted wounds? Could you not have undisciplined penalties as well? Can you not have that? I don't think they can understand Pittman. I don't think they're gonna look college ball again. I say college football is weird, but I think Notre Dame coming off a big win. Think their offense have been clicking. I think they're going to have to score probably 40 in this football game. I think Notre Dame wins 40-30. I think that's the score. I think Taylor Green has another outstanding game. I said, look, Arkansas will be bad, but not because of him. I said they'd be, 5-7, somewhere around that this year. I think Pittman probably gets fired. But I think Taylor Green very underrated. But I just don't think the team around him at the moment is going to be good enough. I think Notre Dame's going to be able to run the ball down their throat. CJ Carr's going to play really well. Again, I think he played well. I think against Miami, I really did think he played okay, but then A&M he played well and Purdue he played well. So yeah, again, they were up again. That Arkansas again, I just can't stress this enough. Arkansas was up 28-10. against Memphis and lost the football game. By the way, Memphis ran the ball for 290 yards. You just can't make this stuff up, bro. You just can't. And now you're facing Jeremiah Love. Yeah, give me the Irish. Another headline and prediction we have Huskies versus, well, this isn't even a headline. Huskies versus Buckeyes. It's the Ohio State road winning streak versus the Washington, the Purple Rain home winning streak. So road winning streak versus home winning streak. The line has gone down. The line was at 9.5. It's now at 8.5. This is fascinating. Washington has Jonah Coleman, one of the most underrated backs. He's going to get his chance on the national stage against number one Ohio State. Ohio State, Julian Sayin, been coming to his own, been playing well. Jeremiah Smith, obviously. To me, it's going to be about for Washington. If you're going to pull this upset, you cannot let Ohio State get explosive plays. You cannot let Jeremiah Smith beat you. That should be every team's big game plan. Can't let Jeremiah Smith beat me. Carnell Tate, really good. He can beat you too. Try to limit him as much as you can. But yeah, because I don't think Ohio State's probably going to want to run the ball some. But I think up front, Washington's going to be able to kind of contain them a little bit. I think it's one of those games where Ohio State wins. I think Ryan. Look, I'm not. If I'm going to be wrong, it's because I bet against the underdog. I bet against the underdog, and they did a lot of things, some trick plays. They shocked me. Basically, they proved me wrong. I'm not betting against Ryan Day at the moment. He's been so good in the Big Ten and in these games. I don't think he's lost to an unranked team in his career. Oh, well, that's a lie. He's lost to one. It was Michigan. LOL. Yeah, it was Michigan last year. But outside of that, just give me Ohio State. I say Ohio State wins 34-20. Think they pull away. Think close, but they pull away. I think Washington this is a sneaky game. Very, very sneaky. Okay. Next. Can the Tigers bounce back versus the Aggies? Auburn lost last week to Oklahoma. There were two big calls. There was the obviously the touchdown pass when it was 3-3 to make it 10-3, and the Oklahoma guy was acting like he was running off, but no, he stayed in. And he ran a go route for a touchdown. That's illegal. You can't do that. And then the other one where Auburn is to scoop and score for a touchdown. Looks like there's no indisputable evidence to reverse it. They reverse it because I don't know. Look, it was a whole ref show. But it's a new week. Can Auburn shock the Aggies? 3:30, they're in a prime spot. Texas A&M coming off the bye after winning against Notre Dame, feeling themselves. This is a tricky one. Marcel Reed versus Jackson Arnold. To me, this game is Auburn going to be able to run the football. Is Jackson Arnold going to hold the ball as well? Because he can't hold the ball like he did last week. He just can't do it. If he holds the ball like he did last week, where there's a couple plays where, okay, I got 6 yard, I got 5 yard slant, but I'm gonna hold it because I want the bigger play, you're gonna get beat. or I don't trust that, so I'm gonna hold it, or I'm not trusting what I see, so I'm gonna hold it. You're gonna get beat. You're gonna get beat. That's just man. I don't know. A&M, Marcel Reed, obviously he's the guy. Their ability to run the football is going to obviously be key. Le'Veon Moss, uh, really good. Marcel Reed's gonna have to make plays with his legs. He's going to have to make plays with his legs. Mike Elko has been great coach. He's got A&M in the top 10. But here's what I'm feeling on this game, and this is just my gut. I could, and this is just honestly the gut, the gut reaction. I'm feeling an upset. I don't know. It's just I coming off that big win. Auburn coming off a tough loss. Auburn, look, they can make big plays down the field. They have Cam Coleman. That Texas A&M defense I wasn't really sold on. I I think Auburn can. Kyle Field. You know what? Give me Auburn. I don't. It's something about something about Auburn this year. I just like, again, the ability to run the football. I think that's gonna be there, and then and then throw. I think they're gonna be able to create enough explosive plays. A&M's defense it's not the same as Oklahoma's. I think Auburn. I think they clean up the penalties. I think they find a way in Kyle Field. I think they find a way to win it 24-21. I really do. I think they find a way to do it. The, up next, one of the bigger games on on a regular college football week. This would be the biggest game probably of the day, but this ain't regular. Kiffin versus Kelly. Who will reign supreme in this SEC top 15 matchup? This is great. I think Shambliss. I don't. I, for Ole Miss, I don't know who's going to be quarterback. I want to say it's going to be Shambliss. If Ole Miss wants to find a way to make the CFP, this is a massive, massive, massive game. Obviously, there's been other banter. There's been other banter between both fan bases, and there has been just other stuff going on in the Kiffin family. We're not going to get into that, though. We're going to talk strictly about the game, the advantages. I believe LSU has the advantage at quarterback. We know that. We know that. Whether it was Austin Simmons or Trinidad Shambliss, Garrett Nussmeier's better. The inability to run the football by LSU scares me. And their offensive line is not. They have a tough time protecting. I don't trust I don't trust LSU's offense. If they have to go score for score with Ole Miss, even though talent wise, it looks like they can do it. I don't know if they can because I haven't seen it this year. Again, the Clemson game, 17 points. The Florida game, 20 points. If their defense has a slightly off day, which is very possible against Ole Miss, can the offense respond, and can the offense will them to a win by icing it off with running the ball? I'm gonna be honest, this just looks like upset city written all over it. With It just really looks like it. I'm telling you, it's something about this game. Ole Miss at home. These two teams always play each other close. It's something. It's just LSU. Their two wins are against teams that are 1-3, not good. They're top five, maybe a little bit overrated. I'm liking the Rebels in this. I'm liking the Rebels to pull off the upset. Ole Miss finds a way to win. Ole Miss does it in a 20. I think Ole Miss does it probably in a 28-24 game. They just find a way. Think this is it'll be huge for Kiffin. It'll be huge for program, and I think there will be questions asked against Brian Kelly. I said, look, nobody's going undefeated in the SEC. Think this is the game probably that LSU gets got. Give me the Rebels. Chambliss has a great game. The explosive plays are there for Ole Miss. Okay, now can can the Hoosiers score big against the sneaky Hawkeyes? Indiana just annihilated. I don't even know if that's the. I don't even know if there's a word for this. The, 63-10 on national television. Fernando Mendoza, you may not find another better quarterback game in the country this season. 21-23, 267, 5 touchdowns, no picks. They also ran the ball for over 300 yards. Again, you won't, I don't know, you will not find a better performance than this, than what they did last week to Illinois. With the block punt and just their defense being all over the Illini. Look, I think Indiana wins this game. They should win this game. I think Iowa, look, Kinnick Stadium, that's sneaky. Again, Iowa is a team that will sit in that same exact defense and they will turn you over. The only thing is special teams and defense is what they're gonna have to is how they're gonna have to win. Don't think they're gonna be able to score a lot with their offense. I just don't think their offense is that good. Again, it's just kind of that's just kind of how it's been with Kirk Ferentz. I was not known for offense. I think Indiana went. I think the Iowa defense shows up, but I think Indiana wins this 24-10. I it's one of those games. Indiana makes some mistakes, probably. I think Iowa forces them into mistakes, but Iowa can't capitalize. I think it's one of those performances where you look at Indiana, it's like you won. And I think Iowa offensively, they just can't do anything with. I think Indiana very good defense. I have something. I mean, the way the D line was able to swarm Illinois, that was impressive. I think they'll be able to do a similar thing to Mark Gronowski in Iowa. Give me the Hoosiers by 14 on the road. Sneaky game. Tennessee faces tough task in Starkville. Tennessee, number 15, on the road to Mississippi State. This game, it's going to be on SEC Network. This is a great game. Arizona State, Mississippi State, that's who they beat. Arizona State, that's their big win. And they went on the road at Southern Miss. They won that. And then Alcorn State, Northern Illinois. Mississippi State's they've got a tough schedule coming up. They're sneaky. They're scrappy, shaping everybody. They're scrappy. Here is what I'll say about this game. If Mississippi State wants to win, you have to eliminate the deep ball. You have to try to eliminate the deep ball from Joey Aguilar. Obviously, because look, to me, Tennessee's going to be able to run the ball, and that's just on anybody. They're going to be able to run the football. They're going to be able to run the football. That's that's what that's what Tennessee is known for. To me, they're going to be able to run the football. I think Tennessee's going to win this football game because they're going to be able to score a lot of points. Mississippi State's defense, I think it's improved, but it's decent, bordering on good. They do fly around. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Joey Aguilar's first real road test. We'll see how he plays. I think he handles it, and I think Tennessee wins this game. I think Tennessee wins a game probably 31-21. I think they pull it out. I think the explosive plays are there, getting down the field, the one-on-ones. I think Tennessee wins out. I think Tennessee's ability to run the football is big time, and I think defensively they're going to make one or two plays. It's going to be enough for them to knock off Mississippi State, and they're going to win this game. Now, we got the two big ones. Massive. Dogs versus Tide. Can the Dogs get rid of the Tide stigma and keep their home winning streak alive? That home winning streak, I don't even remember the last time Georgia lost at home. It's gone for a while now. It's gone for a while. Georgia's favored by 3.5, which essentially means home field advantage. Both teams are coming off a bye. Last year, Alabama was able to get them. That was at Tuscaloosa. Has not been good on the road in the DeBoer era. Every loss they've had is on the road. So that's the good thing. You've got that stigma. You also have the thing with Georgia just not being able to beat Alabama, just not being able to do it for some reason. Whether it's obviously Saban's there, Kirby, Saban, or now DeBoer. Kirby's 1-6 against Alabama. There is something to that. If you don't think there is, I don't know what to tell you at this point. I've seen Georgia torment Tennessee. We've seen that. But I've also seen Alabama torment Georgia. And those were some great Georgia teams. So the year they won the Natty and beat Bama dismantled them in the SEC championship game. I mean, that win streak Georgia had when they didn't lose for like 2 years, and then you go in, okay, number one team in the nation, 20-some plus game winning streak, and Milroe and Bama, who were kind of iffy, questionable that year, they go in and they beat them in the SEC title game. So, and then last year Georgia won the SEC title but lost to Bama. It's real. Kirby Smart's talked about keeping the main thing, and that's winning the football game. Ty Simpson brings a unique challenge for Georgia because he's very accurate. Him and Milroe are so different. Milroe beat you, which can beat him. Milroe beat them with his legs last season. He made some good throws, but he made so tough. Beat him with his legs last season. So tough to bring down. Being with his legs last season. Simpson, he's not going to beat you with his legs, even though he can run. He's going to beat you with his arm. He's very accurate. maybe not the greatest arm you've ever seen in terms of just getting the ball down the field, but he's very accurate. And he's playing some of the best quarterback football right now. On the other hand, it's Gunnar Stockton. Gunnar Stockton played a great game against Tennessee. To me, the key is Georgia going to be able to run the football? If Georgia's not able to run the football, they're in trouble. They're in trouble against Bama. Because if you're going to sit back there and throw the ball 40, 45 times, and you're going to stand there and shotgun, the Alabama will come after you now. They'll get after you. Think Kane Womack, they've been more complex these past couple of weeks in terms of their defense, and it's worked. But in this game, I'm not picking against Georgia. Again, I will not pick against Georgia. I just won't do it. If I'm gonna be wrong, it's because somebody beat Georgia, which they're the top dogs. Whether Kalen DeBoer outcoached Kirby or something, or Ty Simpson just placed the game of his life, something. I think Georgia's going to win this football game. Now, do I think it will be close? Yes. I, I think Georgia probably wins this 28-26. I think it's a dog fight. I think it's just all out war in this game. But I do think Georgia, with their mental toughness, obviously with their physical toughness, I think they just find a way to break this stigma. And they beat Alabama, which will be Bama's second loss. Everybody will be going crazy. I think Georgia's going to do it. I think Georgia wins. Now, to this is where we're ended it off. Top 6 matchup in the Big Ten. Penn Whiteout. Can Penn State finally win a big game? Is the headline. At some point, you gotta do it, bro. This is the game right here. This is the one they gotta win, bro. On the road at Ohio State, that's a tough one. If you don't win this one, the likelihood of you winning that one is at. Look, this is it. Penn State, Oregon. Oregon's looked very good. Probably have looked like the second best team behind Miami this season. Penn State has won some games, but they've looked sloppy. Haven't really played anybody to start. The difference in the game is going to have to be Drew Aller. Look, Penn State, I know they're going to be able to run the ball. They ran the ball for 300 yards against a better Oregon team and front in the Big Ten championship game last year, and they still lost because their defense couldn't stop a cold. So, so, so that's not so. For me, that's not the big stat. I know Penn State's going to be able to run the ball. To me, can Penn State stretch the field vertically anytime they want? Are they still limited on that, or can they do that? And I want to see if they can, because if they can do that, I think Penn State's going to win this game. I also think from a defensive standpoint, how do they stop Oregon? Because Oregon, they're making no bones about it. They're coming and they're going to try to run the football down your throat. That's what if they can. That's what they're going to try to do. Can they do that? It's on the road. It's Dante Moore. It's really his first. It's his first real start on the road. Look, the Northwestern don't want to count that. This is a whiteout. prime time. Can can Oregon pull it off? Can they? Yes. Will they? I don't think they will. I'm picking Penn State. I just think this is what they have been preparing for. It's a veteran group. They've been through the wars. This is going to be another one. Think Oregon's still kind of young. Look, Dan Lanning's done a fantastic job and is going to continue to do a fantastic job. But I think Penn State finds a way in this football game. I think they're going to be able to stretch the field vertically. I like the receivers they got in the portal. I think they are going Singleton and Allen going to be able to run the ball. And I think the one thing Oregon's got to do is try to keep the time of possession, which means they're going to have to be balanced, run the football. But I think Penn State is going to win this game. I think Penn State wins it probably 24-20. I think I think this is a great football game, but I do believe in Penn State. I believe in Aller. I believe in Franklin, and I believe that Franklin finally gets it done against a great team, wide out. They win it. All right, this has been your college football week 5 predictions / headlines for college football. Yeah, that's been it. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And until next time, see ya.